But anyway, that's the end of that story. Okay, now we're live. So yes,
we're live. I can't read it.
So this is the second official Herbivore Hangout, and yes, I am our host for this evening, Captain Andy. I have been a vegan for 12 years now, and before that I was a vegetarian for a year. So I will be hosting this evening. DeAndre, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, I am DeAndre. I am a vegetarian. I've been one for about a year and a couple of months now. Yeah, mostly for ethical reasons as well as like sustainable reasons too.
Cool. JJ, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, JJ. I've been a vegetarian for 6 years and a vegan for 3.
Cool. Hobbs?
I'm Hobbs. I've been a vegetarian for a few years. I just don't like the way meat tastes.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Interesting perspective. Yeah. Cool. Okay. We were talking a bit before, weren't we, about hunting. I did this video recently about the kangaroo.
Oh no, that was awful.
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, what we were talking about, is there a good argument in favour of hunting?
Yeah.
What's that?
Like population control.
Overpopulation.
Yeah.
Is that the best way to control animal populations?
I think if we weren't endangering so many other species of animals, it would regulate itself more,
It might be an argument for it. But are there alternatives, though?
I have no idea.
Introducing the animals that eat those animals.
Yes.
I know.
Basically.
Yeah, but that's humans. Yeah, it's like the food chain doesn't just go infinitely. Like, I think there's some animals that just aren't eaten. And if they eat everything else, then that's the argument for therapeutic hunting, I believe they call it, which is the idea of actual population control.
I think there is a good argument for population control.
Right.
I don't necessarily want to make it.
But I think
it can be made.
I just don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like where I live, that's what's always brought up. That like I don't want to give away where I live because I don't want to dox myself. But I live sort of near a national park, and citizens aren't allowed to hunt deer on this specific national park.
Yeah.
However, you can get a specific permit and you can go in and hunt deer in the park area for population control purposes, or they have state rangers who do it and federal officials that do it as well.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, I think most types of hunting in the UK, not all of them are banned. A lot of them are though, but there's still things like certain types of game. Like the royal family shoot pheasants and stuff, which I think is gross. I've got to be honest. I find the royal family to be a grotesque anachronism. I appreciate that they bring tourism into the UK, but still, fuck them, because they're just such a grotesque collection of people. But,
I think it's amazing. Oh, sorry, just real quick. I think it's amazing when people in the US are like obsessed with the royal family. I'm like,
oh yeah.
I'm like,
well, it's so quaint, isn't it? I think if you're in a country that doesn't have something like that, it's probably like really quaint because it's quite
I don't understand
an old idea. Yeah, I suppose in America you've never had like a royalty.
Yeah,
we kind of did.
Been the royalty.
Yeah, well, we sort of did for a while with the Kennedys. Is the only real sort of analogous thing, but it's not like a bloodline heritage.
Yeah, I read a book a while ago that was, I think it said that actually it made the direct comparison between America and the UK, and it said, to be honest, America's almost does have a royal family. It's almost exactly the same. It's all about who you know, who your parents are, and all that's all the the only difference is that
how much money you have.
Yeah. But I mean, the royal family have no real political power as such in the UK. They're purely just there for show. Although technically, apparently, the Queen can overrule things made by the government, but she just never does because.
Yeah, she doesn't want people to get even more pissed off.
Yeah. No, there would be revolution if that happened. So they just have to. Basically, the Queen just makes a speech at Christmas, and that's about it. It's always boring as hell though, as well. It's just like, oh god.
She's adorable though.
Well, she was in the news a few years ago. This is probably about 10 years ago. Yeah, she'd shot a pheasant. I don't know. I think she killed a pheasant. I think she shot the thing and then killed it horribly or something, breaking its neck. And see, not so adorable now, is she? No, you see. But the thing is, though, I mean, I think she said, someone said something in her defense. They said, well, it was the kindest thing to do because it was suffering. I was like, yeah, it's suffering because you shot it out of the sky.
Because you shot it.
It's not like a murder. You shot the thing. Oh, fuck them. And it's this making a sport, though, out of killing things, which I think is grotesque. It doesn't say much.
Definitely. And so when you make it like a trophy.
Ugh, I hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
go on, Hobbs. Yeah.
JJ, you live in Texas, right?
Yeah, I'm from Texas. I'm going to school in Indiana right now.
Oh yeah. I know it's where I live. The whole like stuffed deer heads thing is super popular. Yeah. That always creeps me out.
Their bed.
Yep.
I've
never seen it above the. Yeah, I've never seen it above the bed, but whenever I walk into someone's house and that's like above their fireplace or something, it like sends chills down my spine.
Yeah.
Just like weirds me out.
Yeah. We don't have no one I know has anything like that in their house. There are some pubs that have that, but they're really old. This is just like really old stuff that's left over from when these pubs first opened, which was probably like about 100 years ago, wasn't it? So it's still gross, but it's like this is from 100 years ago. Like I would never walk into someone's house and see anything like that. It's just
yeah, it's not like I shot this 2 months ago and just got it back from the taxidermist or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like that's what it is with a couple of my friends.
Yeah, it's weird. Like if there's an argument for population control, what I would still say is I still think it doesn't say much for someone if they want to kill things as a sport. Like if they want to kill things out of necessity, it's slightly different, but they want to make a sport out of it.
Do you guys remember that girl that was like hunting lions and stuff, and she like oh god, I like went off. Oh.
Yeah, it was
horrible. Familiar with this.
I saw the photo. She was really young, wasn't she? She was like
a
teenager.
She's supposed to be getting a TV show.
Can someone fill me in?
On what network?
I don't know. I fucking remember. It was like the same one all this other country shit's on. I was just.
Isn't there a photo of her sitting on a dead giraffe?
Yep.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's like there's this, and she's just sitting there grinning, like, and he's like, God, fuck you. Yeah.
Regardless of legality of it, it's just like horrid. You know what I mean? Like.
It's just so repulsive. Like hunting on the safari is disgusting because these are endangered animals.
Yeah.
And the other thing, have you heard of canned hunting?
No.
Yeah, canned hunting is literally just people shooting animals in cages. That's it. It's not even hunting. They're not like chasing these things in the wild. They're shooting them in cages so they can take the corpse home or whatever and say, hey, look what I shot while I was on safari.
Fucked up.
Like, what? You shot it was in a cage.
I want to see you take down that animal with no gun, you know?
Yeah.
Here's a fucking knife. Well, if you want to talk about the circle of life, give me the gun and you get in a cage with a lion and see what happens.
Yeah. Well, I don't even want to give him a knife. I just say, like, right, here's you and a lion. Go for it. And, yeah. Yeah. So
it's so messed up because it's not even fair. Like, it's not even an equal advantage. It has an obvious human with a gun. That's an obvious, like, it's not even. There's no competition.
Yeah,
That's not.
It's
A sport is a competition. There's no competition there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's also it's totally unnatural. I mean, people go on about this natural. This idea
it's not. Yeah, and it's not natural. Like
not natural. I mean, that which is natural is not necessarily right, but that's not the argument. Like,
but if they're going to make the argument that it's like it's natural,
if they want to make the natural argument, yeah,
then they should be as available to be prey as anyone else, as any other animal, and we aren't.
Exactly. Yeah. So I just find it so repulsive, but it's just. I mean, hunting isn't a big thing. I think most people in the UK disapprove of it. I don't. The only people who ever did things like fox hunting were very upper class kind of people, and they tried to frame the fox hunting ban as prejudice towards the upper class, which is just such nonsense.
I remember we talked about that in your last hangout.
Yeah,
it struck me sort of funny.
Like being upper class is so difficult. Like, oh yeah, we're just victims of prejudice, and it's like, well, because we won't let you kill things. Oh, sorry, how mean. But they kept saying as well about how they were going to have to put all their dogs down because they hunt foxes with dogs, and how bad this was. Dogs. And it's actually the case that they selectively breed dogs to be vicious, and if dogs aren't vicious enough, they put them down. That's so fuck them. Yeah, so fuck them for trying to appeal to people's concern for dogs when that's not, when they're the ones who will put down dogs that aren't vicious enough. But yeah, total assholes.
I don't think it's just hate it.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I don't. So I don't. That's why I don't really like hunting. I understand there's this idea of population control, but there's got to be better ways, surely.
Yeah. And plus, what about like human population control? Jesus Christ. Well,
well, I mean, do you know what myxomatosis is?
No.
Myxomatosis is a disease which affects rabbits, and it was deliberately introduced in the UK because there were too many rabbits. So they deliberately introduced this disease to bring the population down. And I mean, it's not very nice.
That's really messed up.
Yeah. But that's something that was done a number of decades ago. I don't think it's a standard practice, but it was done a while ago because there was just too much. There were just too many rabbits. I don't quite know what that means, though, too many rabbits. Like, what's the problem with rabbits?
I want all of the rabbits. They can stay with me.
Exactly. And they're vegetarian, so that's great.
Yeah. They'll fit right in.
Yeah. No. Invite them to the hangout.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking if I had a rabbit, I could just sit there and eat lettuce with it.
Oh, that's so cute. I can just imagine you sitting there with like a rabbit next to him.
Yeah. Just do that. Yeah, just sharing a lettuce or a carrot or something. Yeah. But anyway, has anyone eaten anything interesting recently? No. Oh dear, that's not a very good advert for the vegetarian diet.
I made vegan.
Oh no, Oh yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, no, not interesting. Just cookies.
I've been having a lot of falafel lately.
Falafel is good. Yeah. Chickpeas.
Yeah. I don't think it's vegan though. At least the recipe I have, you have to put egg in, but I think you can make it vegan.
Applesauce.
Yeah, I'm a vegetarian.
I'm sure there's some substitute. Yeah. There's probably a substitute that you could make it vegan.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Oh yeah. You can get vegan falafels easily. They're chickpeas, which they're an excellent source of iron, and I think is there protein in chickpeas as well?
I think so. There's this really good Lebanese place kind of where near I go to college. I stopped in there one day because I just wanted to try some of their food, and they had falafel, so I got one and ate it, and it was delicious. So I went home and made some, and it was super easy. You just take all of the stuff and chuck it in a food processor, and then roll it into balls and deep fry it.
Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah,
Really easy.
Pita bread with some salad, really nice.
Yeah, pretty much. Then some sauce, and it's just like you're done.
Yeah, oh, it's good. It's Israeli, isn't it? Falafel, I think.
It's what?
It's an Israeli kind of food. I think it is. It's Middle Eastern.
Yeah, it's Middle Eastern.
Yeah.
I talked about it with John and Sage the other night. I think when we looked it up, it originated from Egypt.
Mm.
But
yeah.
100% sure. It's Middle Eastern for sure, like the Levant area.
But it's like fast food over there. Like you can get hot dog stands and burger stands. I mean they have just falafel stands.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. It's
just like that kind of fast food that you just sort of thing you'd buy in a pita bread and the salad and everything. It's nice stuff. I bought some from Sainsbury's. That's one of the main supermarkets in the UK. I bought some of theirs. Their falafels are not that nice. They do frozen falafels, and they were okay. But,
I bought.
I prefer fresh.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the company. I'd have to go get up and look at what it was. I didn't end up finishing it. I bought a box of like 8 of them at whatever the supermarket is here, and they weren't that good. I had like 2 of them, and they were kind of shitty, so I just made my own.
Yeah.
And froze those, and they're fine if you just reheat them.
Yeah, they're much nicer fresh, aren't they? It's the same sort of ingredients for hummus, isn't it? But it's...
Yeah, similar. And you can... the thing I'm going to do next time... because you can put, like, the recipe I found, you put chili powder in it, but I'm going to put, like, habanero peppers in them next time, because it was hot, but not, like, hot enough, and I, like, love hot peppers, so I'm looking for something a little hotter.
Yeah.
That's just been, like, my, like, staple food is just, like, falafel lately, because it's, like, so easy to make.
Yeah, I do like spicy food. And I've got, you know, this whole feminist idea of toxic masculinity. Spicy food is one of the only stupid macho things that I am totally susceptible to. Like, I just have to, or like if I go for an Indian meal, I just have to order something really hot.
I just same way, Andy.
I just don't feel macho enough if I haven't. If I've got to have something hot. I've got to have something hotter than everyone else. Otherwise,
I've never made that connection until right now, but I'm the exact same way.
Yeah. I know how stupid it is as well, and I still do it.
Oh my god, I feel like such an asshole now. I have a bottle of ghost pepper hot sauce that I break out.
Oh, that's my shit. Oh my god.
Yeah, whenever I have people over or whatever, and they're like, oh man, like, fucking jalapenos are so hot, I break that out. Like, pour a couple tablespoons of it onto a chip and just toss it in my mouth, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like, bring it.
I actually don't like hot food.
That doesn't surprise me.
Awkward.
Total girl.
Awkward. Very awkward.
SJW.
Sorry, this is my Bruce Jenner moment. I'm just kidding. Okay, was that too?
Mangina. No.
This is promo for his interview.
Yeah.
He's doing an interview? Sorry.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring...
I'm sorry. Derailed.
Spicy food, though, it is good if you get if the flavor is right. If it's just hot, it's not that nice.
Yes.
But if there's a nice combination of flavors,
that's how I feel
about
wasabi.
amazing.
Like wasabi, just like it doesn't appeal to me because it doesn't have any flavor. It's just hot. Like, you know what I mean?
I disagree with you, Andy. I'll eat anything that's like just heat. I legitimately do not care.
But that's the thing. Like, even if it makes me really ill, I will have a really hot, like, spicy food just to prove how much of a total badass I am.
Yep.
Even if I'm doing it on my own.
Oh my god.
That's the really sad thing. Even if I'm on my own, like if I go to a takeaway and just get a curry and take it home, even though there's no one to impress, it's like I've still got to finish. I'll order this really hot now. I've got to finish it, even if I'm like,
Holy shit, I just realized I do that too. If I get food by myself from like Mexican places, and I'm just like, what's the hottest hot sauce you have? And they'll tell me it's like, oh, it's got habaneros in it. It's like, yeah, I know. What? Just give it to me though. Like, put as much of it as you can on there.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I do need it to have flavour. That's why I go for Madras, but not Vindaloo, because I've not had a Vindaloo, but I find with Madras you can still taste the food, whereas I think with Vindaloo it would just, I don't know. But above Vindaloo you've got Thal. Have you heard of that?
No.
Thal is hotter than Vindaloo, and some weird guy my brother knows. Apparently he ordered I think he ordered a Thal, and it made him really ill, just because of how spicy it was. And then he went into the same restaurant the next day and ordered it again. And the staff recognized him, and they said, do you know in India we only have like one of those a year? Because that's how... He was just totally nuts. He was like, he was like, I'm going to order another one the day after having this thing. Like, even in India they don't eat them. They eat them once a year because that's how strong they are. Oh, so I've never had a Thal.
I can't do wasabi because it tastes too nutty to me, but anything that's like made of hot peppers I can eat pretty much all day. Love it.
Well, I can do, like, I don't know, I was thinking of like things like chili. You mentioned Mexican food. I can make it like a chili. I quite like a hot chili, although there's something to be said for it being kind of mild as well, depending on what you've put in it.
Yeah, like there are definitely days that I'm just like, I don't want to like burn my fucking throat with.
There's days when you don't want to burn your throat.
Yeah, like, but I don't feel like I.
Like those are the exception. Like that's like, most of the time I want to burn my fucking throat, but I don't.
I just realized I do like hot stuff. I like salsa on my Mexican food.
Yeah,
like hot salsa.
Yeah, that's what I'm
talking about. No longer a mangina, there you go.
Yeah, I take it to like an absurd extreme.
I was thinking, do you know what Scotch bonnet is?
Scotch bonnet peppers?
Yeah. I mean, no, I was given a jar of that for Christmas once. I was given a few jars of different sauces, and one of them was Scotch bonnet. And I made a dish with it, like a stir fry or something, and oh my god, it's like paint stripper. I was just eating it and I was like, God!
Yeah.
It's like I can't breathe.
Yeah, Scotch bonnet's good stuff.
Someone told me you're supposed to use very small amounts of it, really sparingly. That I used quite a lot of it, and it was like eating paint stripper. It was just sort of fumes from it were just like painful. My whole respiratory system was just like on fire.
They're about as hot as habaneros, and the stuff that one of my friends got for me recently is the stuff that's called the Carolina Reaper. That is, it's like bred by some fucking biologists in some lab somewhere that hate people. Because it's just like designed to be the hottest fucking thing, and it can probably give you chemical burns. Like it's that hot.
Chemical burns.
Yeah, it's so for comparison, like according to Wikipedia, the low end it's like 1 million Scoville units. And habaneros range from 100,000 to 300,000 Scoville units. So it's as little as 10 times as hot. It's really good, but like very, very hard to eat.
I can imagine. Oh god, I do think like spicy food. I think it's kind of an acquired taste, but it's a taste worth acquiring.
Yes, it is. I could not.
Yeah.
I could not eat. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go for it.
I couldn't eat habaneros for the first probably 2 months. My brother had me eating spicy foods, and then I got on board, and I was like, yeah, these are awesome. And because at first I was kind of on the side of it's like, well, it's got to taste good for me to have it. And then he started getting me some good hot sauces, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah. And then I got accustomed to it. You sort of get desensitized to how hot the shit is.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I think to me the food's got to taste nice. If it's so hot that it obscures the taste of what's actually in the food, I feel like I might as well just be eating anything because if you can't taste it. But if the heat it just sort of brings out the flavors of the food, it's really good. And I like that since I became vegetarian and got into vegetarian curries, I think vegetables somehow absorb the spiciness better than meat does. That's my opinion.
I never liked because I got into eating hot peppers and stuff when I was 10 with my brother. And it never really went well with meat, but it goes hot peppers and stuff, they go really hot sauces go really well with potato dishes. You toss them on some mashed potatoes or hash browns. It's great. Any hot sauce is really good on hash browns.
That sounds really good. That's another reason why I went vegetarian, because everything that tastes really good to me, it does not involve meat.
Yeah, it's the seasoning.
Sauce. I put that on everything, my hash browns.
Yeah. Well, it's the seasoning and the flavoring that makes food taste good, generally. That's what I mean. It's not, and that's all vegetables, basically, isn't it? It's all herbs and spices and stuff, so, yeah. I think Morrissey made that argument once. He said you can't say meat tastes good because it only tastes good if you do stuff to it. If you flavour it and spice it and grill it and fry it and
just bite into an animal, see how that tastes.
Well, because don't carnivorous animals eat raw meat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. I think a proper carnivore actually only eats raw meat. And I think they don't swallow it. They don't. Well, obviously they swallow it, but they don't. They don't chew it.
They don't
swallow anything.
Yeah, they don't chew it or something. They just kill it and eat it.
It's a good sport.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I mean, people who call themselves carnivores are wrong because they're not.
They only eat meat everywhere.
Yeah. Omnivore is a better answer, but I think even if someone only ate meat, they would still have to cook it first, with maybe the odd exception. I think sushi and things like that. But people calling themselves carnivores.
Is it sushi if you're just eating raw fish? Do you still call it sushi at that point? If you're not wrapping it in rice and seaweed.
I never had it, before I went vegetarian, and I've obviously.
I never liked the taste of fish. I had sushi twice, and it always kind of made me a little queasy.
Well, I've had there is a vegetarian sushi, which is just vegetables and rice wrapped.
I love that.
It's quite nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the fish that made me a little queasy. The seaweed and stuff. Vegetables and rice I think is amazing, but it's fish part that makes me feel like I want to vomit a bit.
Yeah. Well, that brings up an interesting point. Pescatarianism. Are we all familiar with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I gotta look it up really quick.
I just get so mad when pescatarians call themselves vegetarians.
Yes.
And I'm like, no, you're not.
Oh, is this vegetarian?
That's cool.
And fish?
When someone says to me, I'm vegetarian, but I eat fish, I say, what the fuck have you got against fish?
Okay.
Why are they the only animal you want to kill? Weird.
Oh, fish and other seafood. All right. Oh, yeah. I know a few of those people.
I just and then people ask me if I eat fish, and I'm just like, no, fish are animals. What is that? Is that so hard to comprehend?
Yeah.
They have a fucking face, and they poop.
And eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My answer to that is always just like, I never ate fish. I thought it tastes disgusting.
Yeah.
It's like, I think it's the one that tastes the worst out of all of them.
Yeah, but I just don't get like why fish of all the animals you'd make an exception to killing. Like why fish would be.
Yeah.
I mean, fish suffer horribly. I mean, they're dragged out of the ocean and they suffocate.
I think why. I think in generally why, because they're like, people see it as like they're one evolutionary step below us since they still live in the water, if that makes sense. They're not like air breathing animals. Do you get what I'm saying though? Like since they're in the water, it's like they're on a different playing field, and so people don't see it as the same thing at all. They see it as like.
And people say fish don't feel pain.
Of course they do.
Well, people are going to tell you a lot.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I mean, there was someone who said once, like, if fish could scream or something, then people wouldn't want to kill them. So, but, you know, it's just because they don't do it. They don't have the ability to do that people don't quite recognize them as.
How do you guys feel about fishing and people who like throw the fish back?
Well, going on to the pain thing, like that's also just a really dumb way to cash out like rights too, because it's just like, well, what about humans who don't feel pain? Like there's congenital insensitivity to pain syndrome. Like if a human doesn't feel pain, is it okay to eat them? Like that was always my response to people who were like, well, fish don't feel pain. And just like, are you fucking serious? Like if you applied this to humans, you'd recognize that it would be an immoral thing to do. Yeah. But, like, that's a really bad way to cash out your argument. But, how do I feel about fishing? Yeah, that's not something I'm for. Like, it seems just like hunting to me, personally.
Yeah. Of course, even if you put the animal rights issue aside, I've always seen fishing as just really, really, really boring. I do not see the appeal at all of sitting by a river with a pole and just sitting, and you can't make any noise because it scares the fish, so you just got to sit there in complete silence holding a pole.
Yeah.
It sounds really boring.
People will be like, oh, I'm going fishing, but don't worry, I throw them back. And it's like, okay, you just like mutilate them and poke out their eyeballs and mouth and throw them back. That's great.
Yeah, I just put a metal object through its cheek and then chucked it back into the water. Like, no big deal.
I don't get the appeal of it at all, yeah. I wonder if I could, catch a fish and then I'll throw it back and like what a pointless waste of time. It's a really boring waste. There's another hobby.
I fished a lot before just because I'm from Texas and that's what we did when I was younger, but not anymore, obviously.
Did you enjoy it though? Did you find it to be an enjoyable activity?
I wouldn't feel like a bad person if I say yes.
No, I mean, do you agree with my assessment that it's really boring?
Yeah.
It's boring just sitting there and just dangling a rod into. I think some people who do this kind of thing, it's like it's kind of sort of their relaxing time, isn't it? And they're just relaxing and reflecting, and sitting there with their rod. But you can do that.
Torturing animals.
Yeah, you can do. You could just sit and relax and do something else, couldn't you, and reflect and think about life, the universe, and everything. I don't know why you'd have to fish to do it.
Yeah, the fishing seems secondary to the actual activity, which is just like doing nothing.
Yeah, I think it's just like going out and getting fresh air, isn't it, and sitting and enjoying the scenery. Yeah. So why not even? But why just fuck off with the rod, right? And we'll just sit there, just sit in and enjoy the scenery anyway. It's my thoughts there. But it just seems really. But there's certain hobbies that people have. I don't want to disrespect their hobbies, but I just find them so boring. And fishing is one of them. Golf is another. I don't get at all why anyone would want to play golf. It's not even like as a sport. It's got to be the least cardio. You know, like how many calories are you going to burn playing golf? Like none. So you're walking. They even have people carrying their clubs. That's how lazy golfers are. So
I play golf.
Around and I just there's some hobbies some people have that I fully respect their right to have these hobbies, but they just seem so boring. And golf would be one. Fishing is another, but I don't respect it because it's hurting fish, obviously. But I totally fail to see the appeal of these hobbies because they seem so dull. But each to their own, I guess.
Yeah, I actually sort of like golf because it's a nice kind of way to let off steam.
Me too.
I don't like playing the game golf. I just like driving golf balls.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I
kind of like crazy golf. Crazy golf can be kind of fun, but you see that's where it all starts though. You see, you start playing crazy golf and you get kind of good at it, and you think I might try some pitch and putt, and then you do a bit of that, and before you know it, you're playing actual golf, and then the cruelest of all things happens. It's like Christmas comes around, and everyone you know has bought you golf presents, golf socks, or a coffee mug with "I heart golf" written on it, and you just realize, oh God, what happened to my life? Where did I go wrong?
I've never heard of crazy golf.
Crazy golf, like mini golf, or
oh, okay.
Like you've got obstacle courses, and you have to tap the ball through the obstacle course, and
that's fun.
That kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's kind of fun.
Yeah, we call it putt or mini golf where I'm from.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah, that's kind of fun, but battery's running low. So does anyone else like
this was the new like extreme sports version of golf that I was gonna have to get into?
Extreme sport. That's the thing. Do you know when Tiger Woods? There was all that controversy because Tiger Woods.
I love Tiger Woods. Sorry.
Yeah, but there was controversy, wasn't it? Because he cheated on his wife or something.
Yeah.
And Gatorade said they no longer wanted him as the face of Gatorade because they don't want someone who's an adulterer associated with their company. But I was thinking, like, who the hell needs to drink Gatorade while they're playing golf? Golf's such an exhausting activity. Like walking around, you don't even carry your own fucking clubs, and you go, gotta get some Gatorade because I'm so exhausted from all this walking around a field and not carrying my own clubs. I was just like, no, fuck that.
Need your electrolytes. Gotta hit the ball harder.
Yeah, but I had this image in my head. You know that scene in The Simpsons when Milhouse's dad gets fired because he's been divorced or something, and they say crackers are a family company. Maybe single people eat crackers. We don't know. Quite frankly, we don't want to know. And I just had a bit of an image like that in my head of them saying to Tiger Woods, "We're a family company, Mr. Woods. We eat ultras, drink Gatorade. We don't know. Quite frankly, we don't want to know."
Poor Tiger Woods.
God. But I don't know. Golf.
Golf. I like how we went from vegetarianism to golf.
Yes.
Great switch.
There must be vegetarian golfers in the world.
There must be vegetarian golfers.
There's got to be some, I suppose. Well, actually, sports. Okay, number of boxers and martial artists to people like that. A number of them are actually vegetarian or vegan. Not all, but obviously, but there are a significant number. And bodybuilders as well, and people like that. Mm-hmm. So this idea of where to get your protein from.
Yeah, I know. I always see all these like super buff bodybuilders on like these vegan websites, and I'm like,
Yeah, exactly. These, obviously they get protein from somewhere. But there's a couple of quite good boxers. I mean, to be fair, a lot of these guys do veganism purely for health, or almost purely for health. I don't think.
But at least they're doing it. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah. That's it. I mean, so some of them don't do it forever. Some of them do it like for a period of time, but even so, yeah, it does certainly show the vegan diet is good for. It's not an unhealthy diet basically. That's a pure myth, really. But yeah.
Everyone's faces just went away. What happened?
What's that?
DeAndre's face just disappeared. Oh, he said.
Oh, there. You still there, Deon?
I think I'll be right back. Like Google Plus is just being shitty.
All right, cool. Yeah.
Cool. It'll do that.
Yeah, but yeah, so there's a number of sporting personalities who are, I can't name off the top of my head, but are vegetarian or whatever. It's quite a good diet, that kind of thing, I think.
There's a list. Yeah, well, but a lot of them support PETA and stuff. I'm kind of.
Oh, pizza. Yeah.
I'm iffy on PETA.
Yeah, very.
DeAndre, I think, defends PETA, so we might have an interesting discussion here.
Really, though, I'm.
The thing about PETA with me, well, first of all of their, I'm very anti being vegan for your appearance and anti body shaming and all of their advertisements and what trying to get people to be vegan, it's just all making fun of fat people, and it's just this is it's you guys aren't being nice. That's why I'm vegan, because I think it's nice. You guys aren't being nice, and I don't want to associate with you.
Yeah, I agree. Well, that's Frida Narnigal and her boyfriend are awful people. They really are. Horrible people. Did you see the video that Durian Riders did about Robin Williams?
Oh, no, I didn't.
No, it was horrible. I mean, he said that if Robin Williams had been on the Raw Till 4 diet, he wouldn't have killed himself. That's what he said. He said, the reason he was reaching for the alcohol was because he didn't have enough carbs, which is total honk. And he called Robin Williams a loser for killing himself. And I was just like, fuck you for saying that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of incidents reported of them stealing and euthanizing family pets from people's backyards.
Yeah, they also tried to link milk consumption with autism. I think last year. Or in September of 2014. I don't really like PETA that much. Personally.
We're getting feedback from someone. Has someone got their speakers on?
I have headphones in.
Is everyone on headphones?
I have headphones in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're just getting... Sorry, that was better, yeah. Sorry, we're getting some feedback. Okay, yeah, I mean, PETA, I've heard of PETA doing this, yeah, they have a really bad reputation for putting animals down, or whatever, in their shelters.
JJ, I think it's you.
Yeah, it's your fault.
Okay, there was an ad playing or something. Okay. Is it gone?
I still hear it.
What do you hear?
Yeah. There's an echo coming from you.
There's an echo.
How? I have...
Or we think it's you.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, your fault.
Yeah.
Just like that. But yeah, okay. The reason I defend PETA is because they're an organization that does what needs to be done as far as spreading awareness and reminding people. I mean, we need to remind people about the ethical treatment of animals.
We do, but aren't there ways and means?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't see anyone else doing it. I think PETA is one of the most well-known organizations.
I'm a member of Viva, which is the Vegetarians International Voice for Animals, and I mean, I think they're UK based, but they're international. So I do see them.
Sorry.
You back?
It's gone now.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, but I was saying, I mean, PETA. I mean, another thing I don't particularly like about PETA is, I remember a few years ago they had this. This was in the days of MySpace. They had this habit of sort of trying to encourage people to bully people on MySpace. I mean, the people they were encouraging everyone else to bully were horrible people. They'd find profiles of people who, I think they found a profile once of a girl wearing a rabbit skin coat or whatever, and they sort of encouraged a load of people to go and flag her profile. And I thought it was horrible that she was wearing this. I don't know if that's really the right tactic to start encouraging people to sort of...
Just gonna make people dislike the movement.
it's engaging sort of cyberbullying. I mean, even if it's a horrible person, like I still don't. I just don't really think that's the way to do it. I mean, I think all they would say was, "Oh, go and flag this photo because this person's wearing fur." But
Well,
people aren't just going to do that. They're going to go over there and start calling her all sorts of names. And I don't. I mean, on the one hand, I think she is horrible for wearing fur. But is this really? Is this really the way to do it? To go? I don't know. What do you think?
well, here's the reason why I defend PETA, but not like individuals, is because PETA's an organization, and so sometimes they have people tweeting these things or like Facebooking these things that like the organization doesn't like necessarily stand for. But like, do you know what I'm saying? It's like multiple people.
And they're good for resources too. Like.
Yeah, but they have a really long history of doing shitty stuff. Is my problem. Is that like it isn't just like a couple isolated incidences. And I can link you to a few different non-PETA like animal rights groups operating in the United States that aren't as well known.
No, thank you. If you can, that'd be great.
I'll do some digging.
If we can include them in the description, actually, that'd be really great.
I'm a fan of other animal rights groups, but that aren't PETA really.
Like there's Viva.
Viva. I'm a member of the Vegetarian Society as well. They're a British group, but I think they are international as well. But they are based in the UK. I think the Vegan Society I think is UK based as well. I'm not actually a member of that.
Viva's British based too. I'm trying to think of US based ones. I'm trying to blank. There's the Massachusetts Animal Rights Coalition. I know. I live in the Northeast.
Yeah. One thing as well with PETA that they used to do, which kind of bothered me, they seem to be trying to get celebrities on board, which is fine. It's great. I think if someone's famous, it's good to get them on board because they automatically bring a load of publicity with them.
Like Paul McCartney.
Yeah. If someone's famous, I mean, they have, the press following them wherever they go anyway. So it's great if that person's on board with the cause. It just brings a load of free publicity in. But I found with PETA, they kept trying to stretch, I think, the definition of vegetarianism.
Oh.
A little bit to try and bring certain celebrities in. Like, I think that is Avril Lavigne a vegan or a vegetarian?
Let me look it up.
Because they kept saying she was, but I heard that she is also into hunting. Well, I think I read the interview they did with her, and she said something about how we eat 90% vegan food on tour. And I'm like, hang on a minute, what about the other 10%? What's that? I don't know if everyone should be.
I went to. I'm looking for it. Hey, stupid websites.
I don't know. I just think 90% vegan isn't vegan.
If you're gonna take the name, you have to actually be it.
And I would rather that they find celebrities who are actually vegan, which there are a number of, and not try and sort of broaden the definition of these categories just so we can sneak a few celebrities in, just so we can, because they're trying to make the cause look better. They're going to say, hey, look, there's these popular celebrities who are on board, but at the same time, they're actually making, I think it's counterproductive. They're not really promoting what they're trying to promote.
I think they have vegetarians. Are you saying those are fine also? Because
that's fine. Yeah,
McCartney's vegetarian.
Yeah, he's vegetarian. He's not a vegan, I don't think. But yeah, I get that as long as. What I don't like is this idea of people who hunt or whatever.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Who aren't really vegetarian, kind of. Like Pamela Anderson was another one. I mean, I think she's a pescatarian. And it's just
maybe if those celebrities are like against fur and stuff. But still, I agree with you.
Yeah, I suppose it's okay. I mean, I think they had Ricky Gervais on one of them. I mean, he's not a vegetarian at all, I don't think, but he is an animal lover. I think he does speak out on animal issues quite a lot, and I kind of understand why they got him on board for this particular campaign. I think it was about abuse of pets or something like that, and I think I don't entirely object to that, but when with Pamela Anderson, they were saying she's a vegetarian. Here's Pamela Anderson, she's a vegetarian and she's famous, and yeah, so isn't that great? And I was thinking, well, she's not though. She eats fish, so
Yeah.
it's I don't think it's a good idea to. I don't know if it's Peter as well, but Mike Tyson apparently is a vegan.
Really?
Well, yeah, but this is the thing. I mean, does he make vegans look good? He is a fucked up individual.
Yeah, but he does make vegans look good as far as the physical
Health,
ability.
yes. Health, that's what I was thinking. I was like, health-wise, yeah. The point is that this idea that vegans don't get enough protein or whatever, I think, well, if he is a vegan, then surely they do. Because, I mean, even though he's not much of a boxer anymore, he's still clearly a guy who can work out. He's past his prime as a fighter, but he is a really fucked up guy. I mean, he has done some weird shit, and I just don't want to say, like, I don't want to paint like an overly positive picture of vegans. There are some people who are vegan and who have some other beliefs which are horrible. I think Pat Condell is a vegan, I think, whereas is a vegetarian of some stripe.
Yeah, like some sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like,
But he's also a racist.
Right, yeah, he's like a massive bigot. Like,
Yeah.
when talking about like vegetarian, because I hang out with a lot of people who are vegetarians. We do this. I just typed it in the chat. Just as like inclusive. We'll just like type that if we're talking on Facebook or something. If we don't want to like specify, because it's just like broader than saying, or just like we don't eat meat or whatever. As so we all like know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But I don't. On the one hand, I don't want to try and paint a falsely positive picture of. There are people within veganism and vegetarianism who are complete assholes, and I don't want to try and deny that. You know, I'd rather just to say, yeah, there are people within this sort of community who are assholes, but it's still good that they're vegetarian or vegan because it is still saving animals, and that's just the way it is. It's a very diverse group, and I think the more people, one thing that we have to accept is the more popular these diets become, the more we have to realize that the diversity of the group that is vegetarianism or veganism, whatever, is going to be. It's not just going to all be like, I've accepted it's not all just going to be like hippie kind of people like myself. It will feature even quite conservative people like Pat Condell. Or
yeah, like reactionaries like Condell.
yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, that's the weird thing with him. Like, he's obviously got compassion for animals, but just doesn't have it for human beings.
Not brown people.
Yeah. Not Muslims or anything. It's so like weird. Although he has brought the kind of issue of like halal slaughter up in some of his videos, but not as much as you'd expect.
Doesn't he just use it as a cudgel to beat Muslims, and it's not like this is an animal rights issue thing?
Yeah.
Released.
I was about to say, talk about Islam gets him more views.
Yeah.
But that's the weird thing. I mean, I've noticed like Islamophobic people, whenever you talk about halal slaughter, it's amazing how many of them suddenly start caring about animals who didn't before. It's like they don't care about pigs or anything like that, but they're really worried about every other animal that's getting killed in the name of Islam.
Yeah,
all of a sudden they're really on board with this kind of. I think, well, I always say to people like that, it's like, it's great if you want to get into animal rights, but I'm afraid you're going to have to start caring about a lot more animals than just animals that get killed by Muslims, I'm afraid. So a whole range of animals that get killed by Christians and atheists and everyone else.
There was a pro-life woman that like made this video, and she was like, I watched it on King Farzan's channel, and she was like, killing at all is immoral and wrong, and I was just like, No, you better be a vegan if you're saying this.
Yes.
Like,
That's so true.
No. What?
Oh, I was just agreeing with her. I was saying that's so true.
Oh, right. Yeah, but that's the thing. People are very selective about the kind of life they care about. And I did. I mean, I did a video a while ago on halal and kosher slaughter, and how I said I didn't like it. And this is the weird thing. Like all these anti-theist kind of people regularly like troll my channel, accusing me of being too scared to criticize Islam. And they keep saying you're too much of a politically correct SJW kind of person to ever criticize Islam. You will never criticize Islam because you're just too much of a coward to do it. And I said, well, actually, I have done some videos criticizing Islam. It's just I'm kind of careful about how I do it because I don't want to attract the kind of people Pat Condell attracts.
right.
And so I'm just careful to frame my criticisms so they are not in any way appealing to EDL type people because I don't want hard right ultra nationalists.
You don't want them Islamic ray guns.
Yeah, I don't want people like that. So I'm just slightly careful about how I do it. But yeah, a Muslim guy was arguing with me recently. He found one of my videos and he gave me this long list of animal abuses in the West, and he said, "You in the West need to sort this shit out before you dare, because all this stuff is so much worse than halal slaughter." And I said to him, I know there's a lot of issues. This is not the only video I've made on animal issues. This is not the only animal issue I talk about. I'm not singling it out. This just happens to be a video I've made on it. And, I do make a lot of videos about other animal issues. And eventually I think he kind of understood that and calmed down a bit. But I was thinking, I just thought it was odd that all these usually anti-theist kind of people who think I don't have the guts to criticize Islam and how wrong they are. So that I don't do it as much as they do. I'm a bit more careful about how I go about doing it.
What is this nuance of which you speak, Andy?
Oh god, yeah. Yes, Islamification of.
Oh, none of that, you secret Muslim.
Yeah. Well, I did a video a while ago called it "Why I Exercise Caution When Criticizing Islam." And I just explained, look, so I don't really have a problem with people criticizing something like Islam. People would be kind of careful how they do it and just make sure they do their research properly and they don't use it as an excuse to kind of promote hard right kind of ideas. I wish they would actually make sure they're careful about how they go about it. And the people seem to think, it means that I've said don't criticize Islam. It's like, no, you can. I'm saying I exercise caution when doing so because there is a need for it.
Yeah.
And I have. It's like I'm criticizing it, and usually they are about things like halal slaughter, which I think is cruel, and I think it should be illegal. Which is a very cut and dry opinion to have as well. It's not like I'm trying to appease anyone.
Yeah, and I don't think that's something that most people would disagree with either. Like, well, I can think of people that would, but you know what I mean. Like,
yeah. Well, Mo Ansar has defended halal slaughter, and I think as Muslims go, he's very moderate. He's a very moderate Muslim. I have a lot of respect for him, but I've said on this issue I just cannot agree with him. I do think halal slaughter is wrong. And I think all slaughter is wrong, but I think halal slaughter is something that is bad enough that even with society at its current state, I think a good argument can be made for making it illegal. I don't think I think the argument for making all slaughter illegal, I don't think society is quite ready for that yet. They're not at the stage, but with halal slaughter, I just think it's wrong.
Right. I definitely agree.
Like wrong by current standards of society, in general, not just mine. But it's
like I think if you were talking with your average person in the United States and you told them, it's like, do you think we should like stun an animal or like knock it out before we kill it? Like they would agree with you. It's like, do you think we should ban this kind of slaughter where we don't do that? Like, I don't want to get into the specifics of halal slaughter because I know it'll gross me out too, and I know it might bother some people in this hangout too. But it's like if you bring that up, like I know it'll bug you, JJ, and it'll bug me too. So I sympathize with you there. But it's just like, and you sort of explain that to them, and it's like most people will agree with you that it's sort of a disgusting thing to have happen.
That's the problem. I find I'm stuck in this situation of I feel like I have to sort of support things like more humane methods of slaughter, even though I really don't. I don't want to support slaughter at all. But I'm kind of pragmatic, and I accept that it's happening. So I feel like I have to sort of not support as such, but I have to sort of approve. I don't know, sort of approve of it. Even though I don't really approve of slaughter at all, I have to kind of, if you know what I mean, I have to sort of say, well, I think that's the lesser of two evils.
Right.
I understand society is not just going to move to where I am. And I
wish it would.
Yeah. If everyone was like me, the world would be amazing.
Exactly. That's how I feel all the time, and I'm like, wow, I am so self-involved.
Yeah, like we aren't gonna get Kant's Kingdom of Ends in a couple weeks. Like you do have to be sort of pragmatic about approaching ethics.
That's the thing. So yeah, like some animal campaigns. I mean, they're not like animal rights campaigns. They're not campaign for the banning of slaughter on this thing, but they do campaign for better conditions for animals. And I understand they have to do that because it's a realistic goal. It can be achieved. They can pass legislation which says you must have this level of welfare for animals if you're going to keep them as livestock. And obviously, in an ideal world, we would just bypass that completely and say that's stopping them. But it's just not a realistic option. And so I understand animal rights groups have to try and campaign for more realistic goals. Yeah, it's just the way it goes, really, isn't it? DeAndre, you haven't said much. Do you have anything to say?
No, I mean...
Oh, good. Shut up now. Go on. You must have it.
Oh no, I'm yeah. I'm kind of hungry, actually.
Kind of hungry.
Get some falafel, man.
Falafel. Yeah. Something really spicy.
Yeah, just dump some ghost pepper sauce.
I'm a super macho, manly vegetarian, and
I'm so glad you pointed that out to me, Andy, because I never made the connection with toxic.
Yes, that's toxic masculinity. Yes, it is.
I'm gonna have to dial that back now. Because I never noticed. Like I do that when I'm alone too.
Well, I don't think it's bad if the only person you're harming is yourself. like I don't feel bad about this particular toxic masculinity because it's only me that suffers for it. Like when I eat something really spicy, like I'm the one who has to suffer the agony of it. So I think if you're the only victim of it, then it's excusable. I think it's when other people in society have to suffer it. I think that's when it's a bad thing. But.
Right. Yeah, that's just a connection I never made.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Because it's like the lie. It's like the lie the Fight Club scene thing with the lie and salt or whatever.
Yeah.
Except it tastes good.
Yeah. Oh god.
I'm telling you though, falafel's amazing.
Yeah. They're nice. Yeah, we discussed a bit, didn't we, last hangout about sort of synthetic meat, didn't we? Like fake things that taste like meat that aren't meat.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I mean, there is some controversy. So I think some vegetarians who write into the Vegetarian Society magazine. Some of them don't like it because they think it perpetuates this idea that meat is some sort of necessary food that has to be sort of substituted. And I kind of get that.
Well,
I can see where they're coming from.
Yeah, I was about to say I agree with that because like I eat that stuff like synthetic. I get veggie patties and stuff. Well, veggie patties and stuff like that. But I have eaten synthetic meat before. Not synthetic. You got what I'm saying? Fake meat before. Whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like the Morningstar like fake chicken patty.
Morningstar.
And, like, naturally, like I mean, I ate meat for 18 years of my life. Like that is something that's like hard to just attach like the taste of certain things, and like it's a good alternative. And on top of that, like we evolved, like not to play that card, but we did evolve like eating meat. So it's like I don't think it's like
Okay, are you talking about like veggie patty fake meat, or are you talking about like that lab grown synthetic?
Not that lab grown stuff. No,
not lab grown. I'm talking about like.
Oh, I eat veggie patties and stuff, but I mean.
Yeah. I had some.
Pretend it's
like Morningstar nuggets.
Oh yeah, I love Morningstar fake chicken nuggets.
I had them. I used to eat them, and then I just.
Oh yeah, like I think it's a good tool to like people who are just becoming vegetarians. Yeah, who have like eaten meat their entire lives or something.
Yeah.
Who like want to become vegetarians but like still want to eat meat or like something that reminds them of meat. I think it's a good tool for those people.
Yeah, it's partly because of the culture we live in. It's necessary, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It's necessary to have. But for me, I don't eat a lot of fake meat anymore, except for things like Linda McCartney sausages. I don't know if you can get them in America, but you know who she was? She was Paul McCartney's wife.
Yeah.
And she was the person who convinced him to become a vegetarian. But yes, she had her own food brand, and it's still going. And the sausages, they're usually pretty cheap, and they're quite nice. So I buy like a couple of boxes of them every couple of weeks. And yeah, they're quite nice. I don't really actively like go out looking for things that taste like meat that aren't meat though, particularly anymore. I did that originally because I wasn't sure what to eat, so I thought I'll just have the things I already have, but I'll just replace the meat with stuff that's like vegetarian fake meat. But as I got more into the diet, just with more dishes that are vegetarian in their own right, and I've kind of gone with that. So yeah, I mean. So I neither actively avoid nor actively seek out fake meat. Basically, I'm pretty blasé about it.
Yeah, like what I said earlier is that I just kind of stopped eating meat because I sort of lost the taste for it. So like I didn't really start eating like the Morningstar like faux chicken. I don't know what they call it, but like the faux chicken patties. Until like a couple years into my vegetarianism, or like the faux chicken nugget stuff. The other thing is I keep chickens, so it's sort of weird for me, I guess. Like it's sort of weird for me to eat like fake chicken. Like it feels very gross.
Well, it's a lot less gross than eating chicken, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like but I definitely get where they're coming from. That it's like, that sort of does perpetuate the like it is like a thing where meat is a thing that has to be replaced in your diet by something that is exactly like meat but that isn't meat.
Yeah. Well, you know, in China, how they eat weird things like monkey brains.
I'm not familiar.
You're not familiar? Yeah, it's a weird thing they do. But apparently, vegetarians in China, they have like vegetarian monkey brains. They have like this, they will make food that is supposed to taste and have the texture of monkey brains.
I'd probably try that, to be honest. That sounds interesting.
But it's weird because that's kind of something people eat. That the vegetarian, they have to have like a vegetarian equivalent of it.
Yeah.
And just as we have these vegetarian equivalents of sausages or burgers, they have that. It's so weird. But I suppose that's the same as what we do over here.
Yeah, just the cultural difference with whatever the food is.
So they make vegetarian monkey brains. It's just so. To us, it makes no sense, but I suppose for that culture, it's anything that stops people eating an actual monkey brains though has got to be.
Yeah. Like I was home a couple weeks ago, and my mom made she really likes chicken parmesan, and she made me like a pan of the faux chicken with the Morningstar chicken patties, and that was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Did you say parmesan though?
God, I think that's what it's called.
Parmesan cheese, right, is never vegetarian.
Really?
As far as I'm aware, all Parmesan has animal.
Are you sure you're not talking about mozzarella?
No, I'm talking about Parmesan. Parmesan, I think, unless you can get some very special variety of it, I think Parmesan as standard has animal rennet in it.
It might have been. My mom is like very good about that sort of thing because my sister became a vegetarian like years before I did, and she made the same sort of dish. It was made with mozzarella. I know she just called it chicken parm. It wasn't with Parmesan cheese. But it's the same idea.
Yeah, Parmesan cheese, I think, is one of those cheeses that you cannot get. There's a vegan equivalent of it, but actual Parmesan cheese, is not vegetarian. I don't think, like some cheeses are vegetarian, they have animal rennet in, but I think Parmesan always does.
Huh, that's interesting.
Mozzarella is probably okay for vegetarians.
Yeah, the same sort of idea though. You get what I mean though?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good though. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
The other thing that I like is like the like Morningstar fake meatballs with like spaghetti and stuff. Because like just like spaghetti with pasta sauce, I don't find very appetizing, but with the like soy meatballs is good.
Yeah.
See, and that's why, like going back to the replacements of meat, sometimes it's just like an additional taste,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that'd actually be a really good thing for falafel, because those are balls, and oh god, I gotta try that sometime.
Falafel spaghetti?
Yeah, I gotta write that down. Or I'm gonna forget.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
It's all just food porn right now.
Yeah, that's why I'm so hungry. I need to eat. I actually might be right back, because I might get food.
I was gonna say there is a kind of middle ground between fake meat and there's things that are like bean burgers I quite like. They don't taste of meat, but they kind of are the shape of burgers, and you can put them in a bun, and I quite like. I'm a bit more into stuff like that these days than fake meat.
Yeah, I like Morningstar's black bean.
Hello, Amelia.
Patty.
Oh yeah, I eat those all the time. Those are my favorite.
Yeah, those are vegan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they must be. Yeah, those are really good. I enjoy those quite a bit.
Hi, Amelia.
Hello. I'm so sorry I'm late.
We hate you for it.
Okay.
You're going to get a tie slip. That's an American thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
See, look how cultured I am.
What have I missed?
Oh, God. Lots of golf.
Golf.
Nice.
Do you play golf? Because I offended everyone by saying golf is boring before.
Oh, no, I agree. I just enjoy hitting golf
boring.
balls. I agree with you that playing golf is boring as shit.
Yeah, well, we talked about how fishing is boring, because we were talking about fishing, and I said even if you overlook animal rights, I still think fishing is one of the most boring things you could ever willfully choose to do.
That is very true.
They're just sitting by a river with a stick, and just oh god, what a way to waste your life. And I said golf is another thing I think is really boring, and I just think some people have the most boring hobbies ever. And golf is just walking around the field, and you don't even carry your own clubs. So
some people think YouTube's a boring hobby.
They're wrong.
Wrong, try again.
I agree with that assessment.
They're probably right. We were saying before, Amelia, we were saying before, weren't we, that like if you ever tried having a conversation about YouTube with people who don't do YouTube.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, and I talk about that all the
goes
time.
well.
Yeah, they don't get it. I tried it, doing it, and people are just like, Andy, what the fuck are you talking about?
No, Andy,
Yeah.
isn't that how you met your girlfriend, though? You showed them your Sargon response video.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
like, oh my god, I have to sleep
Oh
with
yeah,
you.
I have to suck your dick. That was so funny.
So white knighting will get you laid. I'm like, oh, actually it does. I show people this video all the time. I show this to women all the time, and they're totally just like, white knight me hard.
Just like walk up to somebody in a bar like, hey, do you want to check out my YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Oh, you proved some historical
Watch
bust
the 30
wrong
minute
on the
long
internet?
video.
Oh god, I'm so horny right now.
Yeah. God. It was funny because some guy accused me of trying to white knight this chick recently, and he didn't know, but she's actually someone I know in real life. She's someone I used to date. I was tempted to say already that he was saying this won't get you laid. I was tempted to say already has actually.
That's really
She probably wouldn't appreciate me saying that. So, I was tempted to say, oh, okay. No, don't need to. Way ahead of that. Yeah. That would have been terrible. But yeah, we were talking about food as well. Amelia, what kind of things do you like to eat?
I am extremely, extremely picky. I pretty much live off of pasta and bread.
Same, it's all good. Those carbs, though.
So
I'm
good.
picky too. I like alcohol and pasta.
Same.
I'm in college, it's acceptable.
Do you have anything with your pasta and your bread?
JJ.
You just have pasta sandwiches. Bread, pasta, bread.
What'd you say, DeAndre?
We drinking whiskey?
Yeah, guys. Kaden Cowger called me Monica Lewinsky, so
Well,
Yeah, I
said-
saw that.
said, you're never gonna get a decent job unless it's as Clinton's intern.
I didn't see that. Was that
I
today?
was like, no, it was like one of the first ones. I was like, I cannot even like combat that burn. That was so good.
That whole interaction was amazing.
Yeah.
I do not believe, like, so I recognize that kid is 16, but he's really fucking funny sometimes.
Well, yeah, give him a break. He's just had his first wank.
I want to
Pretty cool.
I tweeted, I was like, we all know Kaden saved that picture to his laptop. And he was like, you wish. Oh god, it was just so funny.
I want to believe that he's gonna like go to college and become like a postmodern film student, and then just like troll people as like a right-wing reactionary on YouTube as his like dissertation. God.
I'm pretty sure he stopped replying to me.
That whole
he kept replying
interaction.
to me, I just stopped. He never blocked me.
Yeah,
That
I
whole
was kind of
interaction-
hoping that he would block me, just because it would be really funny, but he didn't.
JJ, that whole interaction with you on Twitter was incredible, by the
It
way.
really was.
Props to me for buying those underwear, actually.
Seriously, though.
Seriously. Who's that? I think was that your idea, Amelia and JJ?
Yeah, we both have one.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make more. The Thunderfoot one is next.
Oh,
please.
God.
Please.
Would it work with
I
some
need the whole collection of this underwear.
Yeah, I know. And then the Amazing Atheist. Don't worry, I got you. War Corpse. Woo!
I think he's a little too
I
obscure.
bet I can get War Corpse to make a video about me.
Yeah,
Totally could.
yeah, he will. Like, he's petty enough that he will. He
Yeah.
might be a little too obscure for that one to catch on, though.
with
I
War
guess
Corps?
Powder is sort of pretty irrelevant too, though.
Yeah.
I think someone has. I don't watch a lot of War Corps's videos, but someone told me they reckon War Corps really does have a thing for Anita Sarkeesian.
Yeah, of course he does.
Yeah, apparently in one of his videos, he says something about her being a pretty girl, and then he pauses, It goes also zones out and goes,
Looks off
you
and
are,
just
and he says, you are pretty, Anita. And then just goes back to his ranting. But he's doing his whole ranting thing, and then he just pauses briefly.
He reminds me of the kid in class who like pulled the girl's like curls behind her, you know, in class the whole time to try to get her to like him. Like,
but State of Daniel, right? Definitely, in my opinion, has a thing for Sarah Palin. You know, because he's really proud of the fact he's met her and got her autograph and everything. I think that's just really weird. That's not how I don't view politicians like that. I don't view them
I don't
like.
put them on a pedestal.
What's that?
I don't put them on a pedestal like that. Also, like what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't make them a celebrity. I don't celebrate them like that. They're a public servant.
Yeah, if anything, if I like a politician, I actually get really critical of them. I'm like ultra hyper. I'm like, right, I'm voting for you, so don't fuck up, right? I'm voting for you. I'm going on the case because I'm not voting for someone who is not doing what I want them to do. So
exactly, it's like I'm voting for you, not bowing down.
Yeah. So if I'm voting for you, that means I'm going to be really scrutinous of you because I don't want to be voting for someone who's going to fuck up. Whereas he seems to treat Sarah Palin like some sort of rock star, and I just think definitely has a thing for Sarah Palin, which is weird.
I love that interview she did I think it was a couple months ago now, where she was like so drunk or she was on pills or something, and somebody asked her about like the minimum wage. Did you guys see that?
No,
oh
to be honest though, that might just be Sarah Palin. Like,
no, it was like so bad though. It was great.
I think it might be an act with her. Like, it really might be. I'm cynical enough that it might be an act.
You kind of hope it is, don't you? But I think you just got to accept some people just are that stupid, and that's that.
My favorite thing about the 2008 election was when they were trying to make her like relate to common people, and she was like, "I sold my private plane on eBay," and it was like, "Yeah, I sold my private jet."
Wow.
Hasn't everyone? What do you mean?
I relate to her so much.
Yeah. Like,
I can see Russia from my backyard too.
Yeah, I remember when I sold my private jet on eBay. Did it just the other week.
Oh god.
She only sold one private jet on eBay?
I don't remember. I gotta look it up.
Not lower class much.
I know, right? I mean, I'm selling my jets on there all the time.
Yeah, what a fucking casual.
I know.
I sell one and buy two more.
Yeah.
It's just like perpetual economics. Like, come on.
Oh,
That's so funny.
Like, I don't really like Bill Maher, but God, what was it? 2 months ago at the Americans for Prosperity conference, when Palin, like, her prompter died, so she sort of just started rambling.
That was so funny.
Yeah, he was like, so if Sarah Palin or this raises the question, if Sarah Palin has a stroke, how will we know?
No.
Really bad. Yeah. It was just like, oh god. But it was like one of those cringe jokes. Like,
yeah.
Oh god. Yeah, well that's it with Bill Maher, isn't it?
He's so weird.
Yeah. So I saw Religulous a while ago. I actually didn't hate it as much as I thought I was going to. Like, I really thought I was going to hate it. It's not that bad, but I do find him overall just annoying.
Yeah, like, I gotta rewatch that movie. Yeah, he's like a weird anti-vaxxer.
He comes across really dumb. His views about Islam, again, are really stupid.
And when he had Affleck on with Harris, like, that was just a total setup.
Yeah. I think Ben Affleck handled himself, all things considered, handled himself fairly well in that. Considering it's not really his field and he wasn't prepared to do it, I thought he handled himself fairly well.
Yeah, and considering Sam Harris is like a fucking sophist, like
yeah, oh god. But I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I think Ryan Wiley put it really well. He said the problem with people like Sam Harris and Bill Maher is they aren't offering solutions or suggesting solutions for these problems they've identified. They're just sort of identifying the problem, sitting back and feeling smug about how clever they are for figuring out that there's a problem with Islam, and they aren't. They aren't
anything
about
identifying the problem correctly, like, because their analysis is like so not nuanced at all.
Yeah,
it's just like gotta be first say Harris. It's just like pick some random passages from the Quran. Gotta be that, like.
Yeah.
He's a fucking hack, but I really hate Sam Harris.
I've read any of his books. I visited his website, and I thought it really did not inspire me to want to read any of his books.
Yeah, so if you read any of his blog posts and like you know how imperturbably awful his prose is, his books are just like that, except like it feels like reading War and Peace, except War and Peace is like good.
Yeah. It's like reading a good book, but not good.
Yeah, and it's just like
an experience of reading a bad book.
Yeah, like his book, The Moral Landscape. All things aside, it's like 120 pages or something, and all of like the philosophical critiques you can make of it, like it's just really shitty writing. Like he doesn't really address any, like he doesn't make any good arguments, and it's just bad writing. Like he's an awful writer. And I don't understand how he, like, well, I understand how he got into Stanford. He's white and a man and rich.
Yeah. I didn't notice that because I don't see race.
Yeah, yeah. I just
that's how amazing a person I am. I'm so above that.
Yeah, I want to see some of his undergrad papers because I bet it's stuff like why Immanuel Kant was a big dumb doo-doo head for believing in God and stuff like God, I fucking hate Sam Harris so much. We gotta move on to something else because I'll rant about Sam Harris forever if you keep letting me, Andy.
Okay, how do you guys feel about Oreos? They're vegan.
They are.
Yeah, they're like one of the only vegan like snacks food that's good. You know what I mean?
Are all of the flavors vegan?
Yep.
I'm gonna start eating them more often then.
I know. I'm eating them right now. That's why I asked. The red velvet ones are vegan too.
I think Andy broke.
Yeah, I know. I see.
I like Oreos. They're sort of filling though. Like I can only have like 2, and then I feel like I'm done.
I don't like the icing.
What the fuck is wrong with you? You're not my friends anymore.
No, I like Oreos.
I said I'm really picky.
Yeah, that's interesting.
No, none of my friends will eat out with me anywhere. Like, they will not go to a restaurant with me because I'm so picky.
I know that feeling.
I don't feel like I'm that picky, but I guess as soon as I say I'm vegan, I mean I'm automatically a little bit picky.
Yeah.
I can usually find something relatively fast on the menu, though.
Oh, yeah, like most places, at least where I live, have like a vegetarian section.
Yeah.
See, I live in South Carolina. Most places don't even have vegetarian options.
Texas.
I live in New England, so we're sort of progressive in that regard.
We have some vegan restaurants, and it's so weird going because it's like, oh my god, I can order anything on this menu. It's overwhelming.
Yeah. Like pretty much, I think almost every restaurant except like chain steakhouses and stuff will have like, you know, like an entire section that's just like vegetarian dishes or whatever, and even now like they'll have like gluten-free options and stuff, that sort of thing going. Like it's getting better here at least.
So lucky. That would be like foreign to me. I'm used to being able to choose like one thing on the menu, and even then I have to ask for like
modify it
or something. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. I'd never considered that that would be different in different parts of the country.
Luckily, I live in
So,
one of the most progressive parts, LA, so
yeah,
there
Are we
are a
still
lot of
live
vegan
if
restaurants.
Andy's thing broke?
yeah, we
Says
are. I don't know.
It's
I think
yeah,
we're
it
about to
says we
go off
are.
because he just officially left.
We should be live regardless.
Yeah,
I
we
think
still
that's
are.
how. Yeah, I think that's how Google Plus works. That like you'll just
I
stay
remember
live.
last time when he dropped out when I was with Extremely Boring and David, it went off air. Oh.
Oh, huh. I don't know. Well, we'll see what happens, I guess. Oh well. Regardless, this has been interesting.
It's funny. So many of us in one place. Normally it's like me against everyone.
Yeah.
Guys, we have to unite.
We do.
Chris just said, "You're live, FYI."
There
Oh,
you go.
okay. Yeah,
Why
I thought
would
that's how. Oh, sorry,
why
go
would
ahead.
YouTube do that? Sorry.
Do what?
Have like the main person whose channel we're on like leave and then we're still on their channel.
Chris just said, "You're gonna go off air in a few minutes." I don't know. I guess
Oh.
it takes a while to.
Yeah,
Actually go
Google
off.
Plus is weird. Usually when I've done other streams, we don't stream through Google Plus,
Yeah,
so it,
same.
yeah, like it doesn't matter. We use OBP, I think it's called, with John streams.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my food now. I feel like that would be a good. Oh, oops. Okay.
What was that?
Oh, I think he went to go get some food.
Well. Oh.
Do you guys eat fake meat?
Oh, we talked about this.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No, it's
Oh,
okay.
no, no worries.
I mean,
Yeah, just
I
chat about that
like.
for a while.
Okay, you mean like veggie burgers and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I
I
do
do sometimes.
occasionally. Yeah, I don't like the way meat tastes, so it's rare, but I do.
I went from a very, very, very big meat eater straight to vegetarian.
Me too.
So, yeah,
I was like the biggest meat eater.
me too.
Yeah, mine was really gradual. I just kind of like I cut out red meat for health reasons, and then I was still eating like chicken because I never liked fish.
Oh God, now just me and Amelia.
Oh no.
I'm so uncomfortable. How are you?
I am fantastic. How about you?
I'm pretty good. We've missed you. You've been like,
I know. I was supposed to get back at 8 o'clock, and then I was out to eat, and they had to move my reservation back. It's very sad.
first world problems.
I know. I have a question. So, like, do you do like makeup that's tested on animals or no?
The company I work with a company on Tumblr called BH Cosmetics, and they send me free makeup and they don't test on animals.
That's
So
cool.
like, in the past, I'm sure I have unknowingly, but I try not to. And my hair dye
Yeah.
is not. My hair dye is vegan.
That's cool. A lot of companies like are able to lie about their animal testing policy, which
Really?
sucks. Yeah, like companies like Benefit and Clinique and Estee Lauder. If you
Yeah,
go
I
to
know
their
that.
websites, yeah, if you go to their websites, it says we don't test on animals except where required by law, but it's always required by law because they sell in China, so everything is tested on animals.
And they like partner with companies that test on animals and give them the products. It's just like
Yeah,
just,
not
but I
good.
know for sure the company I like. Okay, BH Cosmetics is so inexpensive, but it's so good, and they don't test on animals. Like I would like recommend it to everyone. get their makeup
I
on.
knew that they were cruelty-free, but I've never used them before.
I use them for like everything. Plus, like makeup can be so expensive, and they're not that expensive.
Yeah.
Sorry, my roommates came in. I had to
I missed you.
for a minute.